Hey, everybody. Remember, if you're a fan of the Tennessee Volunteers or just sports in general, please like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all support's greatly appreciated. Now, let's get to the video. Hey guys, how's it going? Josh here. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. Chilly day here in East Tennessee. Was supposed to get snow, didn't get any. I don't know about you, but if it's going to be cold, I'd like it to snow. If not, let's just get out of the winter. But anyways, wanted to record a video because, as many of you know, if you're avid football fans or Tennessee fans or both of those, right? The transfer portal is quickly approaching. Boy, the last 13 days, because it opened up on January 2nd, have flown by. And I don't know about you, but I think many of us, Tennessee fans specifically, are feeling a little bit confused and a little bit lost at the moment. And the reason being, I don't know if you've been under a rock or not. In the event that you have, we're one day from the close of the transfer portal, and we have officially 2 scholarship quarterbacks on the team. We have George McIntyre, the redshirt freshman, 5-star recruit that's been in the system for a year, and Faison Brandon, another 5-star recruit who just got on campus, if I'm not mistaken, just a couple of weeks ago. But there's still ambiguity surrounding Joey Aguilar and what's going to happen with him. There was a lot of optimism that we would find something out on Monday, but then the judge came back and said, hey, we're not going to be able to get this decided by the time of your deadline. So just putting that out there, which, boy, wouldn't it be nice to be a judge to have an entire winter break to think about something, come back, and then delay it a whole other month. But, that's beside the point. And so what has resulted since then is Tennessee scrambling and attempting to find a quarterback. To retrace her stats, right, there was some early initial interest in Brendan Sorsby. That went nowhere quick. Texas Tech outspent everybody to get the quarterback they wanted, so kudos to them. There was then some ongoing conversations with Sam Leavitt. I won't rehash that in this video, but quite the drama there resulted in him ending up at LSU with Lane Kiffin, his toxic buddy, I would say. And then after that, the university, I don't want to say was scrambling, but while we were waiting to get a final say-so on Joey Aguilar and on what maybe Sam Leavitt would do, let me scroll down here. We had Bo Pribula visit campus. Again, a really dynamic running quarterback whose season kind of got derailed last season when he suffered an injury and didn't quite bounce back. Since then, if we take a look, the top, 20, 25 quarterbacks, excluding some recent portal additions, have landed elsewhere. And that has left many Tennessee fans, myself included, asking ourselves, did Josh Heupel botch this process? And I named this channel The Vol Truther because I like to consider myself as someone who is going to be truthful, upfront, and honest about the situations that I see. I don't believe in sunshine pumping, but I also don't believe in being overly negative. And the fact of the matter is that Josh Heupel has now overseen, I would say, a botched recruiting or transfer portal window for a transfer quarterback. What do I mean by that? It means that he did not, as much as we would like to say yes or no, go as all in on a quarterback as he should have, in the hopes that Joey Aguilar would have received another eligibility. That's my theory. That may not be the truth. He may have wanted Sam Levitt all the time. He may have wanted Brendan Sorsby the whole time. But the fact of the matter is, whatever he wanted, I guarantee you it was not to be, one day away from the portal closing and having 2 official scholarship quarterbacks on this team. So we do have to sit here and we have to ask ourselves, what is the most likely outcome? What do we most see happening, and how is that going to impact us as a team as we continue to grow and develop players? And the harsh reality is we are going to have to get a quarterback either tampered within the next 24 hours or at the FCS level. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be abundantly clear. I'm not saying the quarterback cannot rise from the FCS ranks and be incredibly successful in Josh Heupel's system. The fact of the matter is we have had multiple quarterbacks who, whether you like it or not, were slightly above average or just average that really excelled. Hendon Hooker's the golden example of what could be a Tennessee quarterback under his system. Of course, then we had Joe Milton, who could never exactly connect on those deep balls. Nico, who couldn't connect on those deep balls, and there's all of that drama that surrounds that. We'll get back to that in just a moment. And now, most recently, Joey Aguilar, who could connect on those deep balls, but unfortunately, some costly interceptions, some injury concerns, and impacts there at the end of the year didn't quite get us to where we wanted to be. And to be candid, a whole issue with our defense. But knowing that the season ended by all intents and purposes with Josh Heupel on the hot seat, you would hope a head coach of a football team would have a plan in place that the moment the offseason hits, he goes out and he executes it. And I know that Josh Heupel is capable of this. We saw that happen with Jim Knowles. He fires Tim Banks. He brings on Jim Knowles. They go heavy after former Penn State players in the transfer portal. There's some former Ohio State players we're talking with right now. He is trying to revamp that defense. But the issue with this approach is to be a successful football team, you must be able to play complementary football. And what we're not seeing right now is Josh Heupel empowering and positioning his staff and his players to be in a position where complementary football exists. Right now, we've been living in these 2 extremes. 2021, 2022, defense is amazing. Not the defense by no means. The offense is really, really good. The defense is terrible. But guess what? The offense is really good, but the defense couldn't stop a runny nose. Enter Joe Milton. Again, offense is pretty good, doesn't execute as well as it should. Defense is still terrible. Enter 2024. The defense is one of the best defenses that I personally have ever seen as a Tennessee fan. Jamad McCoy on the back end there. Was a huge game changer, and we were able to win games because of our defense, because our offense was not what we needed. And then this last year, again, this offense, if even having a remotely decent defense, we probably win 9 to 10 games. But that's not the reality. What we're shaping up to potentially be this coming year is a team with hopefully a average to above average defense and a hopefully average to above average offense. And in the realm of college football that we're in today and the SEC, that is not going to get the job done. So what do I think is going to end up happening if I'm being truthful and forthright? I think we're going to see a couple of more commits on the defensive side of the ball tomorrow, which is going to be huge. We need that defense to be good. We're going to pick up an FCS transfer or potentially a younger FBS quarterback from, I'm just pulling something out like the Mac, something like that. Somebody to come in so we have a third body in the quarterback room. And then at that point, whether we want to admit it or not, Josh Heupel is going to be putting all of his chips in on George McIntyre or Faison Brandon to grow in a brutal schedule next year and at least be somewhat productive. And I do want to be abundantly clear. I absolutely think George McIntyre and Faison Brandon or both can be that guy. I truly do. The issue is that would have been the best. This year would have been the most optimal year for that with how easy the schedule was, even though we lost 4 games. Next year is a murderer's row of opponents, and we'll have another video on that. So you're really throwing them into the fire. So right now, Josh Heupel is gambling and hoping that the defensive hires he's made, Jim Knowles is going to put together a good enough defense that allows his young quarterback to develop throughout the season. And hopefully, just hopefully, we're good enough to where, in my opinion, we win 8 or 9 games and position us for the following year when they have more maturity, the defense is more in place, and again, that quarterback has progressed, or we go through this again and we bring in someone who maybe we didn't expect. So that's where we're at right now. This isn't so much an analysis as it's more of a little bit of a rant. I love Josh Heupel. I love what he's done for this university, and I love what he's done for me as a fan. But I can still hold him accountable, and when I see an error or what I see as a perceived error, call him out on that, because that's what the truth's all about. We say it regardless of whether we want to or not. But let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Are we going in the right direction? How should this season have played out? Did we whiff on somebody that we shouldn't have whiffed on? That's going to be super, super huge for us to find out. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments. Thanks again for stopping in today. And remember, if you like this content, I can't ask enough. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all support's greatly appreciated. And as always, go Vols!